Hey, everybody. Nice to see everybody here. It's Dave Duford. I'm here with Luis Moreno, our Medicare and ACA trainer. We're here to talk to you today about a pretty exciting opportunity that is really one of those windfall events that you don't really see a lot in the insurance space. It's called the Medicaid and CHIP Unwinding Opportunity. And Luis is on here being an ACA expert, is going to explain to you what it means, what it's about, and how you as agents can take advantage of it. So, Luis, how you doing?
Man, I am doing good. It's a beautiful first of the month. Can't beat it.
Amen. So what you got for us? What's this unwinding thing all about? I'm starting to hear some big time chatter. Can you walk us through it?
Yeah, I can. There's a lot of chatter on it, and it's just starting. So I start off a little bit about me. You're wondering, well, who is this guy, and why in the heck does David got him here? So, guys, I've been doing health insurance since '99. When ACE started in 2014, so many agents were bailing out. I got in. Okay, ACA was awful back then. Okay, it has gone from an hour enrollment to now probably 10 minutes. And that's still going kind of slow. So big changeover from the way it was back then to the way it is now. But it's a beautiful thing to be doing ACA. My biggest deal, guys, is we write anywhere between 600, 700 during open enrollment every year. And then this year, we knocked it out of the ballpark. 1,300 and change in 2.5 months. Crazy. You're like, there's no way. We did it, guys. I have a spreadsheet with everything that we wrote down because I got to pay. It's me, one full-timer, and then a part-timer. And we knocked it out. Okay. Now that was open enrollment. You're like, well, that ship's kind of gone, and it is gone. But we have this new kind of thing that is just created that is going to act like an open enrollment for almost 15 million people. You're like, okay, well, it's kind of like an open enrollment. That's a lot of people that are going to need health insurance. So
real quick, before you get into that, just for the sake of any new audience out there. So typically with insurance, for health insurance, the time of year when everybody can switch their plan is from approximately November 1st to January 15th. That's called open enrollment. But there's a big opportunity now with what Luis is about to say, where now almost 15 million people have the ability to get ACA plans for a limited time. So yeah, now that I've lined it up, Luis, please continue.
Beautiful. Sometimes I forget. I talk in these acronyms, and I think a lot of people know this, and they don't. So I'll kind of go back a little bit for the newer guys or guys that are just debating, should I do this or not? Here's a good rule of thumb, guys. And this is what I like to throw out. If you're wondering what the money looks like, okay, every 100 policies is worth to you. This is approximate, guys. Okay, you can't hold our feet to the fire on this one because it's based on carriers, location, your contract levels. But every 100 is about $25,000 a year in annualized commissions. Every 100. It's almost like Medicare, almost. And it's a sweet thing. So start looking at the numbers. You write 400 heads, not policies, heads. You've got $100,000 annual income coming in.
Okay, residual for life. Make sure that's
as long as they stay with you. As long as there is a little bit more movement within policies,
sure,
per year compared to Medicare, but it's still a great thing, guys. So it's a beautiful thing. So if you're wondering, hey, how's the money? There's the money. All right, now. Says, David explained exactly what open enrollment is. And that ship sailed on January the 15th. It's gone. It's not coming back till November of this year. So what can we do in the meantime? Well, the administration, the current administration, created a low-income SEP. That's a special election. So that if people are between this little window right here, they qualify for year-round enrollment. And this little window is 100% of the federal poverty level up to 150% of the poverty level. So if they're in that window, you get to ride them all year long. So that right there alone is another way to get people in. And then all this chatter started about the unwinding. What the heck is the unwinding? So what happened during COVID? There was this public health emergency that was created that said people on Medicaid and CHIP, hey, if you're on it, we're not going to mess with you. Okay, we're going to leave you on it. You do not have to requalify. Even if you made more income, you got more assets and you don't qualify anymore, we don't care. We're going to keep you in Medicaid or CHIP. CHIP is the Children's Health Insurance Plan. Okay. So for 2 years that happened. Now that's coming undone. And it already started. And I believe the first group of people is going to be unwound from that in April.
So that means all these people that have Medicaid state-based health insurance are now being let go because the program basically has expired, right? So now they got to get health insurance.
Well, the continuation of it is being let go. Now, these people can requalify. All right. But people are people, David.
Right.
They're lazy. They're going to throw the mail away. They're not going to do it. They're just not going to mess with it. So some people will take care of it. Some people will still be able to qualify and they'll go back to Medicaid or CHIP. Also, there's a provision in there that if somebody's going through some serious treatment in Medicaid, then they're going to continue that coverage for that person while they're going through that ongoing treatment. So you're going to have a percentage of that 15 million that will requalify or stay. But again, I say people are people. You're going to have a huge chunk of them that are going to not qualify. They're not going to fill out their paperwork and they're going to lose coverage. That's what I'm banking on. Okay, I got my fingers, my legs crossed. I got everything crossed that you can think of. That's what I'm banking on, guys, is that they're going to not do it. They're going to fall off. And what that is going to do, it's going to create a special election for us to write them into ACA. And the actual election, pretty clever, the unwinding SCP. Right. Pretty damn good. I mean, a good thing that he come up with some crazy one. It's the unwinding SCP that we're going to get to utilize. Guys, that right there in a nutshell is all that it is. They're losing coverage, so we get to write them. It's a beautiful thing.
How long does this last for? Like, so the first group starts April 1st, but kind of give us a trajectory on how long this opportunity is going to actually last.
I've got a sheet here that I've got from it's a communication from CMS, and each state has 12 months to unwind completely. So each state is going to have, they're going to do it. I'm going to assume they're going to do it in chunks. So they'll have the first group come out here, and then and by the end of, I think, July of next year or April of next year, they're supposed to be completely unwound. Okay, so that's now, like I said, every state's going to have a different schedule. I don't think all these states are going to take all these people at one time and just bam and be done with it. Yeah, I think it's
more of a slow roll as your anticipation as far as the availability of prospects. So this could be around for a while for us, right?
Oh, it's going to be around for sure. And while that's going to be happening around, you know, time will pass by and then we'll be back to open enrollment back in November. The key here for agents, here's the big key, David, is you don't want to miss out on this opportunity, because agents like me, agents who are ready to go, are going to capitalize on it.
Yep.
That's what we're going to do. And once we get them, we get them. And guys, I will tell you this, I'm going to get a little bit off. Sometimes I go off in weird la-la land, but some of you guys are Medicare agents, and we Medicare agents, because I also do Medicare, the holy grail, or the, like, it's, I want the turning 65 list. Oh my God, this magical list that agents just chase around like little kids. Okay, well, we want that because we know our commissions are pretty heavy, and these new to Medicare are so easy to deal with. Well, you get that from your ACA book of business. So it is a very good thing to do, guys. You know, if you're a Medicare agent on this call and you're like, I don't know if I want to do it. Now you better think about it. If you know, any other kind of agent, I mean, you're obviously here because you'd like to become an ACA agent. But in a nutshell, David, going back to the ACA unwinding, or this Medicaid and CHIP unwinding, this is what I'm telling agents right now. You don't need to know the specifics on it. Okay. You just need to know that people are going to be losing it. Now, I am not going to help them get back on ACA, on Medicaid or CHIP. That's not my job. First of all, I don't have a trust fund and I don't get a salary from the state. Okay. So my job, if they want to go back on Medicaid and CHIP, I'm like, good luck to you. Now, for you agents, you may have a website or a phone number for them to call. I know in Texas, it's 211 or yourtexasbenefits.com. Perfect. Go knock it out. If it doesn't work for you, then come back and see me. I am not going to do that for them because I'm not going to get paid.
Right.
But I am going to tell them, look, you don't qualify, or even if you do, but you don't want to go through that hassle, I'll take care of you.
Awesome.
Go to an ACA plan all day long.
So let's backstep from the beginning on ACA. Give us briefly what it takes to get contracted in order to compliantly sell health insurance plans.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm going to tell you guys this. You don't want to do this, guys. There's no money. It's super hard. It's worse than Medicare. Here's what I'll tell you to do. Send them to me. All right. Just kidding. Yes. I always throw that line out. Nobody laughs. I'm glad you're the only one that laughs, David. But no. Completely opposite. Step number one, guys, get with David. Okay. I don't want to handle contracting. That's not my area. Get with David and he will send you contracting. That's number one. Okay. Number two, you have to get certified. In the ACA health insurance market arena, there's actually 3 kinds of states, but I'm going to forget one of them. Okay. There's 2 kinds of states. There are the federal states, and then there are the states that are state-based exchanges. Okay. The federal states, you do 1 certification and it works for all those states. Okay. That easy. Okay. Certification is super easy to take. Now, I personally do not have 1 state-based exchange that I've ever dealt with. Okay. States like California, Oregon, Colorado, a few up in the Northeast, New Mexico, I think is in that category. You have a few state-based exchanges. With those states, you have to use their platform and their own certification, and only works for their state. So I love the federal states, Texas being one of them, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, like I said, 38 states. So contracting, certification. Then what we do, guys, is we will get you set up with our quoting, enrollment, and management platform, which is completely free to you. On this platform, you will quote, you can share your quotes, you'll get a personalized link that you can send to your insurers and they can self-enroll and you still get credit for it. You can do the enrollments, and then you can manage your book and take care of any requirements that are with that book. I mean, it's a beautiful software. We didn't have that at the beginning. That's what made it so awful. But now it's made ACA very easy to work with. So contracting, certification, we set you up on our quoting, enrollment, and management platform. And then at that point, I'm surprised, David, I'm not paying attention to the chat, but somebody here should be asking me one question. Okay. How do I find these people? Anybody ask that question? Did I read anybody's name?
No, nobody's asked it, but I'm sure.
What?
We'll
Not
wonder.
one agent? Not one agent. Guys, how are you going to find these people? Well, number one, you can be out there like that Liberty person with a Liberty tax and have an outfit on and say, hey, if you're losing CHIP or Medicaid, I'm here to help you. Okay. Probably not going to work, guys. Okay. What I think you need to do is whoever Mr. iPhone or Mrs. iPhone is, you have to do some more social media advertising. Okay. Get out there. You need to get into the areas where low income people hang out. Okay. If you're going to do grassroots marketing, I will tell you this worked for me. We haven't done it in a while, and that's because I've been ramping up my social media and I have too much on my plate. But flea markets, beautiful place to be at. I was there for about 6 years, and I would get a booth on Thursdays, Thursdays, Saturday, and Sunday, 3 days of the week. Okay. I took my kids with me. They would have fun. We would do our things, and I'd write a bunch of ACA policies and even a few Medicares. It wasn't bad. But now I scaled up into social media advertising like Facebook, Instagram. There's TikTok. There's all these platforms that you can utilize. But so that's a great thing. Another thing that I think is awesome is, and this one worked for us. Okay. Not very many people, I'm surprised nobody's thought of this, but I sent my whole team out. I had a bunch of agents that were local. I'm like, this is what we're going to do, guys. We went and bought Tide Pods. Okay, the little bucket of Tide, the little pods, and we bought some
You ate them.
The what?
And you ate them.
Yes, there you go. Exactly. So what we did is we created little baggies. We put one pod, we put one dryer sheet, and we put a business card. And what we did, and I didn't do this, they did. They went out to laundromats. Remember, some of these people are low income. They may not have a home. They may not have a washer and dryer at home. So they're hanging out at laundromats. So these guys were going to a laundromat and literally walk and say, hey, here you go, David. Here's a little baggie. Who's going to say no to a Tide Pod and a dryer sheet? It's free. They're there. So they would take it. I'm like, hey, by the way, my card is in there. And, I'm an agent. I help people with insurance, with health insurance. And if you need me, just give me a call and just move on. Don't bug them. And I will tell you, it worked for us.
Yeah, I'll hop in here. A couple of things here. First of all, info on joining, and Luis and I are partnered on this deal, right? So Luis, I find him. I find you guys. I recruit you. Luis trains you, right? And supports you, right? That's the relationship. So to do contracting, you go through me. I've got the link in the chat here if you're interested. It's davidduford.com/ACA. You'll get a bunch of details about how our health insurance sales and marketing systems work. And then also in the chat, which you can also find on the ACA page if you're watching a recording of this later, is the FFM certification guide. Click that, open it up, check it out. It's not as hard as as an AHIP credentialing. It's very straightforward and simple. A couple other things here is a certification addition to health part of my life and health license. Yes, you do need that added certification to sell in the federal markets. If you're not in a federal market, you'll have to get the state-based certification. And then lastly, how do we find when the different states are scheduling their SAPs? Any idea on that, Luis?
That's tough. You'd have to start researching your state Medicaid and CHIP.
Just like Tennessee, Medicaid, CHIP unwinding. And it's a good place to start. There's probably news articles about this. I mean, this is pretty big. I mean, if there's 15 million coming off of this stuff divided by 50, that means what? 50,000 people. My math's a little wrong. 150,000 people, 300,000 people average per state. That's a lot of people who are losing their coverage, right? So this is newsworthy. Probably you'll find news articles and kind of a direction of from there when it's going to occur. So do your research and due diligence. Go ahead, Luis.
I just put in the chat a YouTube video that I shot with the people at Health Sherpa who are been putting out lots of not notifications, but press releases.
Right. Okay.
On this Medicaid unwinding and how they're ramping up their quote and enrollment engine to help us agents. So if you want to go watch that, I had those reps do a call with me and they came up with, they really did a good presentation. So you can go there and watch that. Thought it was a great video that they did with me. Also, since you're here, guys, I got a little something for you. Okay. Who doesn't like a little something? I am going to share with you. I have a folder that I created with some Facebook posts that you can put about the unwinding. I've got some verbiage for social media. I've got just about everything I've been able to find on the unwinding. I put it into a folder, a Google folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share that with you guys.
Hold up. Let's do this. We got to get this is the bait, Luis. We got to get them to. So now everybody here already has access to the insurance sales success if you're here live. But for those of you out who are watching this on YouTube, you got to sign up for the thing. It's free. There's no cost. There's a boatload of training. We do live trainings almost daily, stuff like this. You get first dibs at my books for free. Lots of great resources. You got to join to get this. How about that, Luis? A little give, a little take, right? So that's davidduford.com/FAQ. I now have the drive link. I'm going to put this into the forum. So if you're watching this recording, go to the search bar in the forum. Any minute now, I'll have it posted up. And then you can get access to exactly what Luis is talking about.
And as I come up with more stuff, this is just barely ramping up, guys. I'll be updating that folder with some new images. And if you're wondering, God, Luis, you must be like an artist, guys. I just go to Canva. It is a beautiful free tool online, canva.com. and you can take some of these images and just click and you just kind of play with it. And now these are very generic images. They don't have any contact information. So you can add your name and phone number on there and your email. Take advantage of this, guys. The other deal is some of you guys, and I recognize Kevin here, some of y'all are doing social media ads. That's a great way to target people out there. I mean, it's not a post. A post only goes, a post is like a very small circle of friends it's going to go to. Okay. An ad goes to wherever whatever parameters you've put. And so whether you're doing the city, county, state, I mean, you choose, and it's going to get out there. So ads is very, very powerful. I think ads is going to be the way to go, but you got to know what you're doing.
Right. And just letting you guys know, it is now posted in the chat. And again, if you're watching the recording of this, after you get registered into davidduford.com/ISS, it's free, again, no cost. Go to the search bar after you log in and put in health insurance freebies from Luis Moreno. And then when you click on that, you'll get access to the Google Drive. And yeah, everything's there, just like you said. All right. Well, Luis, that is it for us. We're going to wrap it up. Hope you guys enjoyed this brief little training. I've got to catch a meeting here in a few minutes. And again, invite you to go to davidduford.com/ACA if you're interested in learning more about selling health insurance, how to get credentialed to sell insurance. And from there, you can get contracted. We don't apply or interview for selling health insurance like we do for final expense and Medicare. So you can just jump right in if you like what you see and start contracting. Don't have to talk to us. You can come back and jump on one of these Q&A calls that we do weekly and ask questions, of course, but we don't have that qualification process. So Luis, thanks for taking time to explain this. Appreciate you, man.
You're welcome. Bye, guys.
Right. Bye, guys.